want to talk to you today about a life lesson that became very real for me in the recent past. The life lesson is it's really a business lesson that I've heard time and time again where, when you're on a path to succeed in something and there's things you can do and only you can do to contract out, delegate, or whatever, but get off of your plate the things that others can do that you don't absolutely have to do that others can do. And so over the weekend, actually yesterday, I went to get my eyebrows done. So, this is something that I never do, but something was just like, give it a shot. And so I let her thread my eyebrows, and before she started to thread them, she gave me a little education on brows and arches, and just opened up so much more information about them that I never knew. And so while I'm being a stickler for doing it myself, I realized that I wasn't even doing them right. And so I finally let somebody else do them, and I'm learning things that I never knew before. And while she's doing them, I'm realizing that truth. And I'm like, dang, now I understand a lot more clearer why it's so important to, delegate those things that I don't have to do. So now that she, the expert, has done them, I don't have to spend the time trying to get them just the way I like, because a professional who does them, I must say, better than I know so much more information about it, then now I've freed up so much more time. Well, maybe not a whole bunch, but I've freed up at least an hour of my time that I can dedicate to things that only I could do. And it was just so freeing and so enlightening to finally get that principle in a more tangible and a clearer form. And not only that, is when you free up those things that you don't need to do, you allow someone who has a passion for that thing to really work in the area that they're gifted in, and let them get to shine. Before, it was just me doing mine, and I did a really good job. People would ask me all the time, your process is so good, who does them? And, I will admit I got a lot of comfort and satisfaction in being able to say, well, I do them myself. But no way, shape, or form was I willing to do anybody else's, so the buck stopped at me. But now when someone compliments me on my brows, I can then say, oh yes, so-and-so did my brows, Elevar Beauty did my brows, and now Elevar Beauty, who has a passion for doing these things, then gets to shine and grow and repeat and pass on more of the blessing and the yumminess to others. So it doesn't just stop at me. Then the person who's complimenting mine can then have the same brows. It's so beautiful. So the lesson that I got, that I am sharing with you, is if you don't need to do it, let somebody else do it so that you can be free to do the things that you and only you can and must do. Don't be a service hog like I was. Let those things go. Let the experts do it. They'll probably do it a lot better than you with all the more information that they have. Let them do it and focus on the things that you and only you can and must do. So, I've learned it. I'm sharing it with you. Now go and take on the world.